the channel. Oh, welcome to the channel. Fuck off. Right, I think we'll go a different way tonight. We're going to go into Edinburgh using this route, which is different and stupid as well. Yes. So you're going the wrong way. Well, not really. I don't know how much longer it takes going this way. So I thought what we could do, hey, welcome to the channel, is we could go each week, we could go a different way till we go to Inverness to get to Edinburgh, go to Orkney, go to Bournemouth to get to Edinburgh. No! But tonight we're going through Flynn, Throsk, Airth. I mean, that's just really stupid. That's a stupid idea. And it was good. You got 1, 2, 3 villages. Onto the Botries interchange, down the motorway. Another way, next week we could go through Pleen and go onto the motorway at Larbar, Glenbervie, which is weird because when I lived up at Inverbervie, there was a Glenbervie. So it's like, how many Bervies are there in Scotland? Well, actually no, there'll be Bervies in probably in Australia and maybe Canada. So what I've done tonight, I've got I've put the van heater on, you know, the actual heater. The reason I've done that is because my mechanic told me to. Like last summer I never put it on, and you know, when I did put it on, say like September or something, the smoke was coming out from underneath the van. So that's because the diesel was, I'm not exactly sure to explain how a diesel heater works, but I think the thing was sitting, or the stuff was sitting in it, or whatever, right? Or the diesel sits in it, and it ignites the diesel when you turn it on, of course. So, what am I looking at here? Oh, right. It's a light. I never noticed these lights before. Trying not to go too hard in these corners. So we are sort of going the same direction as if we went on the motorway. So motorway would be way over on the right there. Obviously motorways are quicker because you have to go, well, I just went round and roundabout there. I suppose it just makes it a bit more interesting. I better switch this heater off. I'll do it when I get into, I've got to kind of turn round and press the button. Well, it is quite nice and toasty in here, right enough. It's not exactly been, for summer, it's not exactly been that warm, is it, lately? Anyway, so the channel update is Dr. EV, Dr. Ev. I had a right battling out with that guy over the EV stuff. And he come on and said, his message was something like, it was, I haven't approved it, so you can't see it. I'll probably approve it on Monday. He says that I've been brainwashed and that I'm a conspiracy theorist, and it's time to part ways, you know. And this is Dr. EV, but I think I'll call this video Dr. EV. Basically, what I mean, obviously, say like if I said to him about projection, he'll say that I'm doing it. So really, you're not really going to get anywhere. So I you know, he thinks I've been brainwashed, and all I've sort of totally blown his understanding of everything, or the EV thing. out of the water, and he's not having it at all. So he hasn't blown, like, he's just resorted to call me a conspiracy theorist. He hasn't, like, discredited or disproved anything I'm saying. So he's resorted to that, and it's time to part ways, he says. So basically, what I'm trying to learn to do, I'm really struggling with a lot of it, to be honest with you, is to try and keep emotion out of it, insults and all that sort of thing, keep that out of it, because you're making it easier for them. And the other thing I'm struggling with, well, I better leave that until later on in the conversation before I finish with this bit. So really, what I'm really looking at is a cult member. This guy's a cult member. You know, he's never had this. He's following the green communism. So the green communism is diktat, is propaganda, and it's coming from. Well, ultimately, it's been harnessed by globalists, corporations. So he said to me that I'm listening to corporations, like oil corporations, for example, right? So is that window fucking dirty? I think it is actually. Maybe it'd be a good idea. You know what? Maybe get a van a proper clean. And the wipers are knackered. Yeah, so he says that I'm a conspiracy theorist, and so they are mad. These people are mad, because at the end of the day, electric cars, to me, I think would be an alright idea. To have a little electric car. I think the craziness is when they started doing the big luxury ones. I think that was just so foolish, it's unbelievable. It's really bad for the environment, it's really bad for everything. They are a complete disaster area. So this guy, I mean, they're sort of saying things like that to this Dr. EV, and he's just got so fucking upset about it that he wants to part company with me. It sounds like we're not going out together. You know, it's like, so it's a cult, we're dealing with a cult member. That's what he is. He's in the green communist cult. And you can't, if you put facts or logic towards them, it's really hard for them to cope with. They don't like it at all. You're not going to get anywhere. So, you know, I think you need to look at the thread. It's on the electric car. Well, you know what? I can't remember which video it's on. It's on one of these stupid electric car videos. Well, I've got a few of them. But there's one in Sauchiehall Street in Glasgow. And I think it was a charger, and a charging point in the thumbnail. That's the right one. And there's another guy. He's sort of disappeared. He'll be back. They never really give up. You know, they just seem to keep on going with this rhetoric. I think them two in particular, I don't think they're actually that bright, the two of them. No, they sort of just follow the dogma. It could be that they're selling them. You know, electric car salesmen. Diverted traffic. What the fuck? What's that for? Diverted traffic? Diverted from where? What's all that about? This is the thing about doing the night driving that I do. You can sometimes get caught out, like with diversions and things. Oh, wait a minute. Was there no a crash here or something? In Airth. There was a crash here. The other night, Monday it was, and I think this road was closed. Do you know what? I just totally forgot about that. I suppose I didn't exactly forget about it. I just kind of assumed that this being Friday, who knows with the idiots in the council. So the Green Communist diktat. So what? So the overview of what my understanding of it is, corporations. So this is what I'm getting accused of by this guy. They seem to think it's oil corporations, which is, it means that they don't really understand how corporations work. The corporations, and it's because they're a bit dim. Now, I'm not saying too much about, but if you know anything about corporations, they make money for their investors. So you cannot ring fence oil companies in your head to believe that they're oil companies and they've got nothing to do with a scam. They're in it. These corporations are in the scam. So Shell or BP, I don't know what's all the oil companies. There's loads of them in there. What's the other ones? I don't know. All these energy companies. You know, they're into all these. Well, it's energy, isn't it? Energy companies. Oil's energy. You know, and these morons seem to, like, well, they've been brainwashed into thinking that. So the bottom line is, EVs are a nightmare, a disaster, and they're bad for the planet, a really bad idea, and we shouldn't be doing it, right? Renewable fuels is the answer. Renewable fuels. So that would be, so you start thinking about renewable fuels. Imagine if your farmer could grow renewable fuels and sell whatever it is sell it to the companies that makes fuel out of it, right? But the oil companies don't want that, do they? You know, or the corporations don't want that. I mean, I fell into it myself there. I think this is probably a lot longer going this way than going down the motorway, but well, I don't think it's a lot longer. It's probably with the, you know, the traffic cam and shit and all the roundabouts. So the overarching thing is we're being scammed, and we're being scammed to make millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires even richer, and that's what it's all about. And it's numpties like that guy, that Dr. EV. These numpties are selling us down the river, and you know they don't know they're doing it because they can't accept that that's what they're doing, either because they're not intelligent enough to do multivariate analysis, or because they're just, well, I think that could be the only answer really. They're just not really bright enough, so they're joined the Green Communist. The analogies with transgender things is exactly the same. So you join the transgender group, and there's basic doctrines that the members of the group believe. You follow it. If you're going to start trying to dismantle any of these belief systems, you'll get ejected from the group. You won't be welcome. So it's the same with the Green Communist. So he's just following all that Green Communist stuff. So unfortunately, so he says things like 95% of the batteries are recycled. I mean, he just said that. So the thing with recycling is that you could recycle 100% of everything, but are you prepared to pay for it? No, you're not, are you? You can't pay for it. So that's the issue. So 95% of lithium batteries are not getting recycled at all. Right? It's just total lies. So I think he's one of these people that's just saying things. He just says it and that. So as far as in his mind, I'd say he's a liar. Yeah, you know, he's definitely a liar. Because you know, how can you be so thick? I think he's just sticking to that narrative. A bit like what, like, say, a politician would do. Well, they do that all the time. You go and listen to them on the news. They'll follow that thing, or the presenters do it. The news presenters. You know the thing with Julian Assange? GB News were very disappointed with that. That's because they were told by their boss to follow the line that he was a criminal, a rapist. You know, and that's coming from high up. And the real facts are that he's not a rapist or a criminal. And he did some kind of plea bargain to get let out. That was a terrible thing. And they could do that with anyone, accuse you of rape or something like that easily. That's easy. All you gotta do is get a couple of women. It could happen to me. You know, everybody's got, you know, anybody that's ever spoke to a woman, let alone shagged them, could get done for it, right? It's a fact. You go to a nightclub, think you get your leg over. It might have been normal at one time. That's just made me think about a nightclub in Aberdeen. It's the weirdest thought in my head. I've just had the weirdest thoughts. I took this lassie up to Aberdeen years ago. Her name was Amanda. And I don't know, I was very naive. I just didn't really have a clue about men and women, like all these different things. It was terrible, actually. It makes me cringe when I think about it now. Just how daft I was. I didn't even know basic human, like, psychology. I didn't even understand when people said things, what it really meant, you know, different meanings. I didn't get any of that. I think to some extent I'm still like that, but I've learned. So it didn't come, maybe it comes naturally to people. I could be part of the Asperger's diagnosis. Although I don't really want to sort of use that as an excuse, you know, I don't think that's fair. Because people do that. I took her in Aberdeen. I had the Volvo GLT at the time, a 360 GLT, a white one. I was in that was between marriages. That was like, so I had 3 children in the first marriage, and then I was in between, and I was doing that thing where I was trying to get a girlfriend, you know, or all that sort of thing. It all seems a bit stupid now, but this lassie was actually really attractive. She's about a couple of years younger than me. She'll be 55 or something now. And I took her to Aberdeen, and what a fucking dumb bastard I was. I was taking that lassie, and she was looking for, you know, I was allowing myself to be used, you know. It was like negative narcissism. Anyway, she lined it up. I landed up sleeping with her. You weren't expecting that, were you? As in, asleep in a bed, my bed. And that wasn't that night, that was another night. Yeah, another night she actually slept together. And I don't know what was going on there. I think for partly I shouldn't have been letting near women because I just didn't have a clue what I was doing, right? You know, I was just fodder for them. I still am, but then it was even worse. So now I can sort of avoid them, you know, their little wee tricks and stuff and the manipulation and stuff. They still try it on me. I see it happening. I think they do it. Most women tend to do it more than men. Men are more straightforward. So what happened was, what the hell are you talking about? So she woke up, sort of panicked, went away. Because I think, well, she was drunk. That's why she slept with me. I was drunk as well. I don't think that's unusual, is it really? I mean, it's like you go out to a nightclub or disco or something. I don't know what you call them nowadays. You get drunk, you'll end up like getting a bird, don't you? So you spend the evening kissing, and then doing all sorts of shit, and then go back. Anyway, that time you get so pissed that you don't even know fuck all about anything. So the next day she fucked off. Then she met this guy, this pal. This guy, well, you don't know my pal, he's a year younger than me. and he kind of got her, if you like. The weirdest thing, this lassie she was like working. She was staying in the house that I used to live in. This woman owned this house, and she was like an au pair sort of thing. It was a big, huge house, and is this getting boring? Well, it is, but sorry. No, she went off with this other guy, and he was sort of paying for everything type guy. I think that dynamic's alright if that's what you want. You know, if you're a woman, you want a man to pay for everything. I don't think there's a problem with that if that's the arrangement. What are you going to do in return? You know, it's like. So one of the problems women have got, they've been sort of forced into the workforce. So obviously, if they're going to go and work, they're not going to give money to somebody else, are they? They're going to keep it for themselves. Well, they have to give it to somebody else for somewhere to live. Council tax and all that shit. But anyway, so she went off with this guy, and they got married. They had a daughter. They got married about 2 or 3 years after I met her. And it's just I don't know, at the time I don't know if it affected me or what, I don't know. I think I was just being a bit, doing what normal men do. They were after a shag and they're just broken. They wanted to have a wife or a lover or all these different things. And really, your emotions and everything are not really, you can't really trust them, you know. I'm not really too sure about marriage. I think arranged marriages might be a good idea. In some of these cultures where the families sort it out, I think that could work. But of course it wouldn't work here because everybody would object to it so much. But I think it actually might work. Because it's all too easy to give up on it now. Just bail out of a marriage, you know. And you know, obviously I did loads of things wrong. All the rest of it, right? So I was like a lamb in the slaughter. I didn't really know what was going on. I was dumb, dim. My parents were all funny as well. They didn't help much. It was all a fucking disaster. But anyway, a few years later, she divorced that. She fucked off and went away with somebody else. There is a thing about. It's not really about women. It's about some people, some women, right? That's what I'm saying. That would be the best way to put it. They're users, you know. And she was definitely a user, yeah. But I mean, the guy, he's right, got another woman and all the rest of it, so he seems happy enough. But I suppose really the moral of the story is, inside me I probably knew she was a user. But my mother was mentally disturbed, so I was attracted to crazy women, you know. I wasn't really attracted to sensible women. Well, this woman I'm talking about actually got a bit of a career going in the health service. Got a job, funnily enough, where I used to stay, which is down Borders, which is weird. But that was that, you know. It's just life's like that, isn't it? People come and go and all the rest of it. I don't know how much diesel's in this van. I'm trying to remember the last time I filled it up. I think it was down at Tesco. I think I felt the gauge is weird. It doesn't. The gauge sort of stays down at the bottom bit, and it sort of comes springing all the way up. Hopefully it'll come springing up because it's just at the top of the red. Basically, I just sort of drive into Edinburgh every weekend. I don't really do much else with it. I usually, if I'm going to fill it up, I prefer to do it at night. You know, when it's quieter. I could actually do that at Asda, might be the easiest option. See if it shoots itself back up again. Right, so you've spent about half an hour talking about some lot of crap. Yeah. Old hay fever's hit me. I think it's hay fever I've had. I'm almost never sure. Every summer I think, oh, is this cold I've got? No, it's hay fever. The other thing that's bothering me is my video making. Wow. Fucking hell, got flashed. I think that car got flashed. That was bright. Must have spotlights or something. That van, they were bright as fuck. Really blinded in there. Why is it sort of sticking behind the car? You know? Oh, there's Mad Max. It's funny, all that speed, it doesn't seem to be going that fast. Braking, or the braking. I can smell that actually. I can smell the petrol. Nice to see they're enjoying themselves. I watched quite a horrifying video this afternoon actually, which should put you off crashing cars or driving fast. Driving ladders. There's a ladder in Russia been involved in some 3 or 4 car collision with a truck, and the guy was stuck in it and it caught fire. The truck or the car had caught fire. It was fucking horrifying. So all these guys, one thing I noticed about these guys, all these men in Russia, it's all men, there's no women there. They all look really clean and well dressed, and they all look pretty tough. I have to say they look pretty tough. You know, I think in terms of, they didn't look obese, is what I mean. They look tough, as in muscular. Maybe they've got better diets in Russia than they have here. Not too much processed foods here. You get some appalling looking people here, don't you? I mean, you've got to admit it. And it's got to be down to diet. You know, the excuses, all the stuff that they say. I think it's down to. I think the reason I'm a bit flobby is because of the diet I've got. Because I can't resist, you know, sugar and cakes and shit. Anyway, so they got these fire extinguishers. This fucking ladder was all like crushed. The guy was stuck inside it. I think it was just one man, and he was fucking screaming. And the ladder was all squashed. They didn't seem to make any attempt to try to get him out. They just tried to put the fire out, and they couldn't get it out. They'd like they're all carrying fire extinguishers, and there's a Land Rover pulled up trying to pull the ladder away from the truck, you know. And they were all fucking trying to throw water on it. I don't know what the source of the fire was. You know, I know it sounds stupid, but what was it? You know, what was feeding the fire? Was it electrical or fuel? You know, like diesel fuel from the truck. I don't exactly know for sure. And I'm pretty sure he died. He was screaming inside the car. They tried to put it out, failed, and the fire engine eventually turned up. So there was a break in the film. You know, and they sprayed the water in. I think they were trying to fucking drown the guy. You know. But of course, I think he's dead. I think he's actually dead. Actually, yeah. It's fucking horrible. I'm surprised Facebook allowed that one. I thought it'd been against the rules, but so it put you off driving old cars, you know. And I'm always campaigning that, like, you know, about speed limits and stuff. The A720 closed after. I never quite read that last bit. But Russia, I've seen the videos. It looks a bit like what we were like in the 70s. You know, these two-way roads, well, wide roads with a bit for overtaking, and it just looks like they're all completely nuts. You know, you have to be tough to go out driving there. They do seem slightly crazy in Russia. So, yeah, so the whole EV thing it seems a bit stupid as well when you think about Russia. If you look at Russia, are they bothering with this shit? No. Why we're dabbling in that thing. It's such a fucking waste of time. It's an absolute dead end. And these guys that are arguing with me today, they come away with fantasy stuff. Like, oh, they're using sodium and they're doing this and they're doing that. And they're going to be so much this and so much better and blah blah blah. It's all like pie in the sky, you know. Use ICE vehicles on renewables. What's wrong with that? You know, the thing is, there's so many people who don't even know about that. I've had people swearing at me and everything that I'm talking shite. They're so ignorant, and that's because the government doesn't want you to know about that. The system doesn't want you to know. The government's corrupt. It's totally corrupted. I was listening to GB News today. All they're doing is arguing about fucking women's toilets. Unbelievable. There's just two silly cows on. Nurses from Darlington saying that there was some, I don't know if it was a colleague or a patient, was getting changed in the changing room that they change in, and they couldn't complain because they get sacked, so they went on GB News to complain. And that's like really, like, the hypocrisy levels are incredible, that they are nurses in a communist organisation, which is the NHS, you know, where everybody looks after and everybody's kind and all this sort of shit, right? And then they're sitting there, and all the words that they mentioned were comfortable. They didn't feel comfortable. So this person, I assume was a transgender woman or a man that was claiming to be a woman, hadn't actually done anything. So it's all based on, oh, he was, you know, and this, I didn't feel comfortable because he was in the changing room. I didn't feel comfortable. So it wasn't a case of, oh, he tried, you know, he pulled his dick out, or he tried to rape me, or he was staring at me or something like that. They didn't even say any of these things. It's because she or he wasn't doing these things. I think from nurses' point of view, when I did caring, you get white people's arses. There's body parts and blood and all sorts of shit. So it's a dirty job in that sense, you know. So why would you on this, like, it's like what they're actually doing is and I'm in the minority here because the vast majority of people will disagree with me. But really, what it is they're arguing about is female privilege. M90 North closed after Junction 1B. Well, we're not going over there. So, all it is female privilege. When I was in the hospital the other day, they've got mixed toilets. You go into the toilet, you go into the cubicle. What's the fucking problem? You know? There's no men hovering around, you know, waiting to look in the cubicles. Nobody there. It's like a paranoid thing. I mean, there's always going to be sex perverts, and there's always going to be rapists. There's always going to be evil people, and you're not ever going to get rid of that. So just because, you know, it doesn't mean to say that they don't exist because you don't let them in your toilet. You know, it's like, I get, yeah, there's obviously a very small minority, but there's one of the ladies once said, you've got more chance of getting raped by an MP than you have by a trans woman, right? I know that was like brilliant. It's true, you know. So it's all. So basically, what I'm really rabbiting on about here is they've been going on about that all day when we're about to be plunged into poverty. We're doing this net zero shit. We're about to elect a bunch of fucking numpties to the Labour Party. They're all full of shit. It's a fucking pantomime. Yeah, absolute pantomime. I've never felt this strongly about not voting as I do now. It's a total pantomime, total waste of money. Money? Yeah, time, waste of time. Not money. Well, it is money as well. It's just, all you're doing is rearranging who's fucking you over. That's all you're doing. So they're trying to like use this toilet thing, some kind of huge issue, which it isn't. Nobody ever says anything to me in the toilet. I don't speak to people in toilets. I go to do the toilet. Nobody says fuck all, right? And if they did, I would ignore them. If it got really bad, then I'd report them to the police, I suppose. What do you do? I don't know. I'm not going to start arguing with some stranger in a toilet, am I? No, I'm not. I've got hay fever and I think it's got worse. Why has it got worse? You're in Edinburgh. You would think it wouldn't have got worse. The fuel gauge has come up to quarter tank. I wonder if there's enough for it to... Right, we're going over. Right, so we've got an amazing hard shoulder that has been taken over by a bus lane. You think of the things that's happening in our society, or things that's no happening. You know, all the problems we've got. Meanwhile, the rich are getting richer, trillionaires. You've no hard shoulder. You know, you can't get a doctor. Loads of potholes. What else? Immigration. Can't afford to buy a house. What is that saying? What's that sign say? Bus lane. There's a cross. What does that mean? I actually feel quite tired now. I don't know if I'll get to sleep right away because sometimes if there's an event on, I can't get parked. Doesn't look like I need to go for diesel really. But if I can't get parked, I might just go and get diesel, yeah. Bus lane closed. Right. Yeah, definitely feel tired now. So it's like, after watching that video with the guy dying in the car, I do reckon that when this truck, I've had this motor all welded up about 3 years ago. It's done at a high standard. At the end of the day, the best way to avoid getting killed is don't drive in Russia, drive carefully, try not to do stupid things, but I think there's always a possibility. I think our roads are quite safe. If the speed limit's so low, fuck guy, of course they're safe. Oh, I'm really tired now. I think it must be about 12 o'clock. Now, so this video I did last week, doing this, I got 45 views. There's probably not, breakdown ahead, bustling close. It's probably not worth doing this video really in that sense, but I thought, well, I'll just do it, and I'll do a different route next week. So I've got a breakdown, apparently. No, it's Roadworks. That's what it is. It's Roadworks. Hermiston Gate. What the hell's going on down here? Road closed. You bastards! You bastards! You ringing bastards! You bastards! Ah! So I told you, road closures. I've got a massive queue behind me. I'm doing, what's the speed limit here? 50. I'm doing 45. Well, should be doing 50 now. Just about 50. So I take it we have to just double round and go down. Is that what we do? Or do we have to go in through Sight Hill? So you're pulling out to overtake and the lane's fucking disappearing. You know, you should have put your foot down and overtook me. Fucking moron. Can I go back up there or am I going to go through? So I don't know if I think I'll just go through Sight, turn right, go right around. That's what we'll do. We'll take the South Gyle, it's called, you know. South Gyle, yeah, this one. I mean, wow. Fuck it. Yeah, oh dear. Right. This one. We'll go in here and oh no, that's the wrong one. Is it? Yeah, it is. Fucking daft bastard that I went in the wrong one. No, this is the right one. Fuck. Yeah, it's kind of the wrong one, really. It's not the one I wanted to take. but it's okay. I can turn right at go right down here and turn right. It's okay. I turned off too early. That's what I'd done. This is when you end up in these fucking clean air zones, isn't it? They're all going a bit nutty behind me. This van's not very fast. Plus, we were sort of like wondering where we were as well, weren't we? The shell garage is shut. Don't know what's going on in there. I did hear about that actually. Some kind of development or something. So yeah, we've got a diversion. Just to cause fucking hassle. The van's got a rattle. I don't know if you heard it. I was idling there. I don't know what it is. It could be camshaft or something. It's been like that for a few years. I was just sort of sitting there thinking, maybe I should check the oil. You know, it did have an oil leak, and we fixed it. It was the oil, the switch. You know, oil switch inside the engine. But it's still got a drip somewhere else. So it's got an oil leak somewhere else. And it is going to be 30 years old next year. In fact, all my motors need a good service. They all do, 4 of them do, yeah. I mean, the little blue car really should get its timing belt done. I've never had it done. I don't even know if it's ever been done. I mean, I've had it since 2016. That car, the blue car, and the thing is, you're supposed to do. Why is there a bag in the middle of there? That was weird. It looked like it was sitting upright. The blue car, 2016. It's got 112,000 or something on it. Or was it 118? I can't remember. It's like, you know. We'll turn left up here. Do you really know where you're going? No, not really. But I do really. So, it's 150,000 miles, or 10 years, was the timing belt interval in a 1600 HDI Citroen diesel engine. So, I've had it for 7 years. So we'll assume that it's been done. Not necessarily, well, who knows? The mechanic had a look at it a couple of years ago, he said it looked good. That's why I thought, you know, is that enough information? It looks good. You know, well, I don't know about that. It's like, oh dear, I'd hate living here. Do you know why? In Edinburgh, you don't know when they're going to go and change the road layout, or fuck you right up, or do something. You know, that's going to stop you from parking your car, or even having a car. You know, look at that building, wow. I don't remember that bit, I don't know when that happened. It's always been like that. It's like a shell. So what I really wanted to do was come off at Sight Hill, go through Sight Hill, you know, and then come round to by Saughton Prison. I would turn left to what was Macro. I think it's called Booker now. Turn left there, that's where the trams are. So this route here is... So in Scotland, of course, the 20 zones are not enforceable. That's another thing they don't want you to know. That's another thing I tell people, and they don't want to know. They just do not want to see the tram over there. They don't want to know. They don't want anybody upsetting their comfy little... You know, it's like an acceptance thing. Like, that makes you really think that it is like a big prison we're in. There's people like being locked up. And they don't like somebody coming along saying, I can set you free. Don't want that at all. So that's how they start. They get really hateful. Where the fuck are we? Oh, right. I was kind of expecting a fucking roundabout there. Obviously I got mixed up, but I could see that the light was green, so... Yeah, they don't want to be set free, so that's how they start attacking you. Calling you a conspiracy theorist. That's the favourite one. The best thing, well, that guy called me a conspiracy. The best thing to say to him is there's no conspiracy. For what it's worth, is it really worth answering? Well, yeah, because it's giving entertainment to people. People can read the comments, and it'll get people to watch the videos. I think the more traffic and footfall, as long as people don't get overly abusive, you know, I can cope. Overly abusive, I can't cope with. Like, you just know, don't you? Just overly abusive, no. Just block them. You're not allowed to comment. Bye. It must be quite... I'm not aware of that ever happening to me. Because I'm not really that sad that I have to send messages to people about videos. But obviously I get a lot of messages coming in, and they're really pissed off, a lot of these people, and so basically you'd be sitting there typing away, really angry, and you press send, and you don't know that, well, you'll be able to check and see it's not there. It's not like it hasn't sort of materialised on the page if you're commenting on a video. So I've never actually been aware of that. From my point of view, me sort of sending a message to somebody and then it not... what the hell's wrong with that, lassie? Not getting through, because it must be soul destroying, really. You think, because the only person that's seeing the message, say if you say you're a total cunt, I hate you, the only person that's reading that is them. That's a brilliant thing about it. I hope you die and all this sort of stuff. You're actually saying it to yourself, which is like, well, it's relevant. That's what projection is. The mirror image. Has anybody got fed up of me talking shit yet? Yeah, probably lots. So we got 45 last week. I think we'll just pop over in front of this truck. Yep, can't really go it too fast because everyone falls over. There's a bus coming. We're now in Chester Avenue. Ignore the bike lanes. Stupid crap. Might be lucky, might be able to get parked. I think if it's really busy, see, you don't really see until you get up to the lights. See, like, usually it's quite busy up here, going into Aston and that as well. It does get very busy. But I might as well just turn right and then just see what happens. Might be nothing there. Oh yeah, it's quiet. Brilliant. Actually quiet. A few boy racers flying around. Car parked. Oh yes. So, it's all looking good. Hear that noise? It's a rattly noise. Might be the fan belt actually. It's never been right. That looks alright. Well. Right. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. We've made it to Cheshire. Fucking brilliant. Try to run me over. Bye.